Hi. So I'm out here doing what I do, and I know that a lot of you out there think that, or I have given you this impression that I'm strong. I am, because strong has been the only thing that I've had to be for the past 14 years. And sometimes there comes a point in a person's life where no matter how strong you really are, there's a point where you have to realize that you have inconsistencies and you have some real badass trauma that you've not dealt with. And I have certainly been triggered recently, and as much as I have faced my shadow and I have accepted that I've got flaws and I've got inconsistencies and I've got some really, really traumatic experiences that I have not yet dealt with, I am very grateful for the people that have come into my life. And time is teaching me that I have shortcomings of my own that have contributed to the failure of my relationships. Like I've mentioned before, it's not only one person that's at fault when something fails, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you as an individual are a failure. And I recently had a discussion with a good friend who I met, who made me realize that there's a lot of my behavior, there's a lot of my shortcomings and my inconsistencies that have contributed to the failure of the marriages and the failure of my past relationships. And you know what? I am not Miss Goody Two Shoes. I am so tired of being strong and not having to deal with those emotions and not having to feel them and switching them off. And the place that I came to was having to deal with it alone, being in silence. I have a strong belief that when you want things in your life to change, then you have to change certain things in your environment. And as you know, the house is under construction and renovation, and it's been years since it's been happening. And leaving to be alone and coming back, I have had to deal with a lot of my own feelings and my own emotions. And I've had to come clean with myself that I have some really extreme parts of me that are really broken. And as much as I make these videos and I encourage people to be strong and keep your chin up, there are times where you lose yourself. And I've realized that I lost myself in just holding myself up alone. And when you do something like this for so long and you're alone, and you finally have somebody to share it with, and you reveal yourself to somebody outside of yourself and somebody outside of your circle, and you realize, hey man, I got some shitty parts that need some healing, and I'm not sure where to pick up because I'm not even sure where it broke. I'm using this moment to just say, you know what, it's okay. It's okay to cry. It's okay to break down. It is also not okay to bottle stuff up inside of you, put up the strong front and be strong, and hide away from your own vulnerabilities because you're so scared that you're going to get hurt. You're so scared that someone out there is going to use this against you, because that's all that's ever happened, is that you show your vulnerabilities to people close to you, and they use your weaknesses against you. And so you become very scared to expose yourself, because you've already experienced people and life to a point where you've been hurt so badly by the people that are so close to you, because they use your weaknesses against you. And I just want to say, not just to myself, but to all of you who are wondering, how do I do this? Yeah, I've been doing it. Yeah, it seems like it's easy until it gets too much, because you don't have a go-to place or person, and it feels like you do, and you really want to let it out, but you can't really, because you don't really trust anyone. And then you find someone that you do trust, and eventually, because you've not been seen for so many years, and because the people that have seen you, they have seen the vulnerabilities within you, and they have used it, and you have not healed from any of that. So it makes you the loser, right, at the end of the day. And in the same breath, I had the most amazing message. I'm gonna share it with you.
Hi, Mrs. Motivated. I'm here to inform you something serious. It is said that everything kind that you do will one day be repaid to you. So remember all of those times you were giving people money, giving them heaters, giving them clothes, giving them everything you didn't have. I'm here to inform you that it has all been repaid to you. Remember the guy who bought you shoes, bought you Mrs. Matibedi, Mrs. Kalika. I believe in you. I always have, and I always will. Even if you don't believe in yourself, that everything that you've done wasn't worth it, it will all be repaid to you. It has already been repaid to you, and if you keep on doing what you're doing, you will succeed. You may not get in a relationship right now, but don't lose hope. Explain to the people what you have been through. Explain to that one person what you have been through and why you act a certain way. Why you're so insecure, impatient. Explain. And if that person is the one, they will.
That was my son. He is 13 years old, and all of this happened, and I had broken down crying, and my kids, for the very first time in their lives, had seen me break down. And it's because I realized that I lost my sense of self-belief. Do you ever feel like that? Yeah, I've been there. I completely lost my sense of self-belief, and that's why I come out here and I pour out everything that I have to you, because I needed to. And today I'm out here saying that I'm not a Miss Goody Two Shoes. I have had horrific days. I've had scary days. I have days when I have to put on a smile on my face because I have to make sure that the kids are fine. And I have to make sure they don't ever see me like this, because it's gonna break them apart. And until I realized that I lost my sense of self-belief, and that's the reason that I do this, I realized that the messages that I had coming through, asking me, how do I do this every day? I come on and I make these videos, and it seems like I'm some sort of iron woman and I don't feel pain. It's not easy, because when you have kids, you realize your kids, they feel everything that you go through. Even when you're hiding it, even when you have nothing left inside of you, they feel it. And all I've ever taught them was how to pray. Pray things away. Pray and ask God to give you the strength to handle whatever you can. And that's all that they know how to do. So when I feel like this, they put their hands on my head and they pray for me. And I realize that you cannot fix a physical problem, a human problem, with the spiritual solution. It's never going to work out. And so I stopped for a moment. And I asked myself, where to from here? Because this was a breaking point for me in my life, because this was the first time in my entire life that I had ever broken down and came to a realization that actually my sense of self-belief, my sense of confidence was lost. And the reason a lot of my videos, they don't get a lot of views, is because I realized that I am talking to myself, and I take the motivation that I pour out there. I need it, so I use it. And it works for me. I know we all go through these things, and it's all a part of life. And that's what I'm here to say. It happens. You lose it, but you can't stay lost. All right, that's the big thing here, is that you don't ever allow yourself to stay lost, because there's always somebody out there who has what you need and who comes to you to motivate you and to encourage you. And it's not always easy, but you have to realize that the universe works that way. You get what you put out there. And for everyone that's been here, And for everyone that's joined me on the spiritual journey and has accepted and has acknowledged that I'm broken and that I've got some very unhealed parts of me and I've got some extremely broken parts of me. Insecurities and doubts, they don't just leave you when you come from a lot of hurt in your past. You have to acknowledge them and you have to accept that the pain and the hurt, the broken parts, the unhealed parts, they bring revelation and revalidation, and they help you to move forward. They help you to focus on how to become a better version of yourself. And that's the whole point of this, is how to become a better version of yourself. Learning how to either switch on and switch off those emotions, or learning how to actually deal with those emotions, and learning how to accept the ones that come into your life as a guide. That's a big thing. That's the beginning of the journey of healing. So thank you for staying tuned. Ciao.